So I just woke up and I watched Noah's recent video called like Atonal Whiplash, which 2. The second one. The first one I think came out last November. It's really good. At the end there was a part about nostalgia and how that doesn't relate to like a lot of, I guess, what people see as nostalgic actions or stuff like that, right? Like watching back specifically it's about YouTube and watching back all YouTube videos or watching back the Russell T Davies era of Doctor Who and being like, well, this is kind of shit, or like being like, well, this is, it makes me feel things, or I enjoy it, but I enjoy it in spite of itself, and there's only really this piece of music that makes me feel truly nostalgic for like a lost home. And like he goes into how he has a lot of problems like remembering from that time because he was depressed, and his life was pretty bad. I relate. Now I haven't really watched back any videos from that time because that's not really nostalgic for me. The memory of them are, well, I did watch them back I think in like 2018, but I'll get into that in a second. But for me, the memory of them, right, the idea of I guess Black Hawk Chronicle and that whole type of thing. I was never big into like self-playing or Smash or the other things you mentioned. This is never really a thing that grabbed me. I did take Leo off a bit, like no mention Sips and Shin, Rivian and Zoe, and like, and when I watched that in 2012, I have no, like, I know it's the Jingle Jam and all other YouTube things from that time that I remember, but the thing that's nostalgic to me is, like, I have a lot of holes in my memory from ages, I want to say 10 to 18. I have a lot of really big holes in my memory. Really big, terrifying holes. But the parts that I remember from those shows, I enjoyed because of the memory, right? Like, it's a kind of the satisfaction of the nostalgia or the feeling of the nostalgia kind of comes from not engaging with it. It comes from the action of remembering it. It's an incredibly indulgent thing. But it doesn't come from fulfilling it, because I know that if I were to get back, if I were to like do a thing that I remember liking as like a teenager, go back to that, watch that, I don't know, watch old Doctor Who, because I used to watch old Doctor Who with my sister, like the 70s and 80s, Pertwee, Sylvester McCoy. I've watched a few clips from it, I think, over the years, but I've never had, like, because YouTube recommended those to me, but I've never gone back and watched that, really, or engaged with it in any kind of advanced degree, because it's not a thing that I have emotions for. It's not a thing I feel like I should revisit. Like, I have the memory of it, and the memory gets more and more corrupted with time, but that's the nature of memory. That's not an issue for me. Because the one of the big times I did actually go back and watch Tekken, I thought it was pretty horrible. the Yoko's Tekken thing, it was like a playlist that had everyone. I thought it was pretty horrible. Yeah, I guess. This is like 4 years ago, 3 years ago now at this point. But yeah, it's like it comes from the act of the kind of sadness and the weird satisfaction of nostalgia comes from the act of remembering, not the act of revisiting. I think that's the point. That's it. That's all. That's all I can think of. It's morning. My brain doesn't work.